afternoon. My name is Gabriela Larco and I am going to talk a little bit about my final essay for English class level 7. The title of my work was The Shoe for You. For my final essay, I decided to compare two brands of luxury shoes which were Manolo Blahniks and Christian Louboutin. I chose this topic because I've always liked fashion and high couture. Besides, even though at first sight you could think that both shoes look equal, each one has special characteristics that make them unique. And since these are luxury shoes, they are not cheap, so I believe every woman should know and be aware of these details before they decide to invest a good quantity of money on a pair of these. For my essay, I decided to use the point-by-point format because I thought it would be easier to explain myself and be understood in this way. Also, I believe this method makes it easier to organize your ideas and doesn't let you forget any of the important details. For my thesis, I stated that Manolo Blahnik and Christian Louboutin create unique high heels capable of mesmerizing every woman. However, each one has different styles that can be preferred by one person or another. At first, I have to find similarities and differences between the two companies. For the similarities, I found that both are luxury, expensive high heels, that both have exclusive collections and unique pieces, and that both are worn by famous people. For the differences, I found that Manolos are more comfortable than Louboutins, that both have completely different appearances, and that both are made for a different type of fit. Finally, I decided to focus and compare on three main aspects, which were appearance, comfort, and type of fit. In relation to appearance, Manolo prefers to keep his designs more classic, whereas Louboutin loves extremely high heels, which make women's legs look very long. In relation to type of fit, if you have slender feet, you should choose Louboutin. If you have broader feet, you should choose Manolo. Finally, when it comes to comfort, it is definitely Manolo, because Louboutin doesn't pay much attention to this detail. The conclusion I reached was that none of the designer was better than the other. The perfect shoe for a woman depends on the type of fit, the occasion for wearing the high heel, and personal tastes. I would really like to quote one of my sources who said that when it comes to comfort, it is Manolo. When it comes to sensuality, it is Louboutin. And when it comes to style, it is both. I really enjoy working on my final essay. I learned a lot about fashion, high couture, and all of this interesting world. I think that the topic had a lot to do with the effort I put in my work and the eagerness I had to learn, because I think it was really interesting to get to know the artists, their work, and how they have built these brands through the years. Something important that I learned was that every woman should know the type of fit they have, because this makes much easier to buy high heels and make the correct choice. Also, not every high heel is made to be uncomfortable. You just have to know special details in order to buy them. As every work, this one had the good parts and the bad parts. The easy part was reading about the topic and getting to know Manolo Blahnik and Christian Louboutin. I don't think there was a bad part in this essay, but maybe something difficult was finding resources that were reliable enough to support my arguments. I really think that this exercise made us research a lot and learn many new things. For me, since I studied medicine, it was a really good experience because I could start reading something different and not only focused on my profession and my studies. And I could really relax and just enjoy the time reading about two designers that have changed the world and that are iconic in the fashion industry. Once I found my sources, it all just started to flow and I just started to complete each one of my arguments. I believe it was really good to get to know another part of this gigantic world that is the fashion industry because none of us pay much attention to it, and as women it is really important for us to know about high heels because most of us have to use it at least once in our lifetime. I have to confess that at first I thought that it would be a really difficult essay because I didn't know many companies that I could compare. So at first I thought about comparing BMW and Mercedes-Benz, but then someone else chose the same topic, so I had to focus on another idea. And then I started thinking of something that I really liked because a medical topic was something really difficult to compare. So I decided to do something different from what I am doing every day. So I decided maybe it could be fashion. So then I remember that once I was in Europe and I saw this shop that said Christian Louboutin and I thought, oh, what beautiful shoes. I would really like to know more about this man and what his why he really focuses on these red soles and these unique designs. So I decided to focus on Christian Louboutin, and then I remember that sometime I was watching Sex and the City, and I remember that Carrie Bradshaw was always talking about Manolo Blahnik, and I said, oh, maybe I could compare these two luxury brands of shoes, and yeah, it was a really good decision. Um, Finally, thank you very much. I really hope that you like my work and that you were able to learn something new just like I did, and that in the future, if you decide to buy a pair of these luxury shoes, you remember this important detail. And not just for high heels, because I believe it is important to know what type of fit we have to buy any kind of shoes. So I really hope this, this essay will be useful for you as it was for me. Thank you very much.